So I have to say that one thing which I do a lot, and it's actually something which I do way more nowadays because I got myself into iPods and Sony Walkmans and all that kind of stuff, is I love listening to music. In fact, I've done multiple different videos on multiple different music listening devices, from boomboxes to Sony Walkmans to iPods, and I've even gone as far to even review like music albums, which, my God, there's a ton of music that I listen to, but I have to say one place which I haven't really tackled and I would love to tackle, and I'm actually going to start today with this product which I'm about to talk about, is I would love to tackle headphones. Now, one thing which I have to say is that I really have not pushed myself to get into the audiophile scene until just recently, mainly because of Dank Pods, which I love his videos, and they're actually really interesting, and he's actually one of the reasons why I wanted these headphones in the first place. And I'm going to look at them today, and please welcome the Sony MDR-7506s. Woke up on the west side, listening to beach guys taking my time. If you didn't watch my video talking about what I got for Christmas gifts, one of the things which I got in that thing is my Sony MDR-7506s. Now I did say on my first ever short about me reviewing these, and yeah, I'm gonna talk about these. Now there will be three categories, which is gonna be the build quality and the looks, which is basically gonna be basically self-explanatory, which is going to be quality and build, looks, and all that kind of stuff. Sound, which is the most important thing with headphones, but then there's going to be the conclusion, which is do I think this is worth it to anybody who's wanting to get more more enjoyable experience out of their music. So yeah, let's get started. So I have to say that I got these as a Christmas gift, although if you wanted to buy these brand new, it would be the price of $81 on Amazon. Sony does not sell these on their website anymore, apparently. I don't know why they don't, but on Amazon you can buy these. Now this is USA price we're talking about, so it may be a little bit more expensive. They were originally $100 on Amazon, but they decreased the price to $81. So yeah. Now I'm going to get into the quick little looks and quality and all that kind of stuff right now. And I'm actually going to move the camera a little bit closer now. So I have to say that these are the Sony MDR-7506s, and as you can see that they're closed backs, and they're also over ears as well. So they're because they're closed backs, no noise is going to get let out, which means heavier bass and all that kind of stuff. I do have to say that it comes with this flock stuff on the ear cups, although you can replace these if you want to. It's got this fake leather on the top with stereo monitoring. These were used for studio applications. I know there's different people who use these for podcasts nowadays, but these are dynamics. The ear cups, these are big ear cups. My ears do fit in these, which is nice. It's got this stitching along with wires for each ear cup, because these only have one wire on them. It's also got this professional sticker on them, which you could take that off if you want to, but I'm going to keep it on my pair. It's got the adjustability, which is nice, and on both sides. It's also got the coloring for each side, so the left side is blue and the right side is red. It's also got a swivel in it, which again, our ears faced forwards, so a little bit of swivel is good. Now, one thing which I didn't realize immediately is these fold up. So if I can get them right, of course. So yeah, that's how they fold up. And if you buy these a pair brand new, then they come with a carrying case as well, which is nice. it takes a little bit to fold them up in and out multiple times and stuff. And now let's get to the cable. It's a coiled cable, so it's like a phone cable, and it ends on a full size plug, which is for like, because most stereos at the time took this instead of the normal 3.5 millimeter headphone jack that we're used to, or technically not used to, because a ton of companies took away the headphone jack. But this is but you can take this off because this is a screw off thing. You can screw it on if you want the big adapter, but I normally use the 3.5 millimeter for my iPods and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's get back to talking about more about these headphones. So I have to say that even though these headphones are, these originally came out in 1991, and I think if anything, the design and the build quality, it really depends. These are kind of more on the plasticky side, so they're a little bit more harder to fold up and all that kind of stuff. But I like the design. These are fairly comfortable. The adjustability is really nice too as well. I like the look, but also I really do like the screw on 4.4, which I think is a balance jack. I'm not so sure, but stereos back then used to have this plug on it instead of the 3.5 millimeter, which what we were used to for the past couple of years. But these headphones, I like. These do feel decent, but let's get into the more important part, which is sound, which before I can get directly into how I feel about the sound and stuff, these are 63 ohms. Now, 63 ohms is like, it's not enough to where you need to buy an amp. Like you absolutely need it. You don't need them for these. But it really depends on what device you're using. On my iPod, which I use, this is a 4th gen. It's got a Wolfson DAC in it, which sounds phenomenal. It can run this. Now, pretend this is the iPhone that I currently use, which I'm actually filming with it right now. But in my iPhone with the adapter, because my phone doesn't have a headphone jack, with the adapter, these are quiet. So it really depends on what you're going to use. On this MacBook, these can run decently enough out of these, but the iPod definitely is the best. Even with sound check, it's best. It's the best. But sound, the sound is definitely a lot better than I expected it to be. Now, to explain what I mean, I've got to basically the sound of these, it's definitely something which I was surprised about. Like at first I was like, these don't really sound that different against the headphones which I normally use. But then I took a listen to particularly What's My Age Again by Blink-182. The main chorus, with the headphones I was using, it sounded really like really crowded. Like it wasn't like, it didn't sound like it was really that like wide feeling. It just felt really closed in. With these though, it just felt like it had that soundstage to it. It wasn't like normal open backs where you could feel like it was like VR with your ears. VR, it was like VR, like you can experience it all around and stuff. These made Blink-182 sound way bigger. Like it was like, I was surprised. The sound is definitely more on the punchier side. The bass is a little bit better with these. I think if anything, the sound is, it's surprising. I like the sound. I thought if anything with the music I normally listen to, again, Blink-182's What's My Age Again, it sounded whiter. But talking about other tracks I listened to, the Chainsmokers, So Far So Good, there's a track on there called Testing, and that song gets real punchy, and I was surprised by that. What's another song? Another song, Wake Me Up When September Ends by Green Day, is a song which I definitely feel like, if anything, it also got whiter. It didn't feel quite as like closed in. Some songs, it really depends on what you're listening to. It'll either sound, it'll definitely sound wider. If you're using like a pair of like Apple EarPods, or what DankPod says, Dirty Buds, it's definitely it's definitely gonna sound wider with these than if you were just using like normal earplugs. Plus the earpods are open backs as well, technically, because they don't have any seal with them. These have a decent seal, but it's hard for me to explain the sound, but it's definitely better than like cheap ghetto headphones or like and stuff. For like a cheap audiophile headphone, these are pretty damn good for what they are. Now, time to get into the conclusion, which is gonna basically mean, are these worth it? And I tried my best to explain how they sound and how they build. Now these are fairly comfortable. It's got this fake leather on the top. It's got a really good seal. It's got the one wire, which is also coiled up as well, which some people hate. Love or hate that. It's got the screw-on thing, which can be very important because it's not going to pop out as easily. It'll pop out of the stereo, of course, but it won't. But it won't pop off the headphone jack. But the sound, it's very, very clean, and it's got a little bit of bass, but also top end as well. It's got that V sound, extra bass, extra top end. I think if anything, against the headphones I was using, these are freaking great. I love them a lot. It definitely feels wider. It really depends on what kind of music you're listening to. If you're listening to anything, like I'm a person who listens to mixed genre from rock to pop to EDM. It goes on to like, it really depends on what you're listening to. To me, like with the rock and pop and all that kind of stuff, I think if anything, they sound great. They sound much better than the headphones I was listening to. Should you get a pair of these? I guess if you're wanting a better sound, these are a really good pick. I know there's another pair of headphones that are close to the price of this, which are the Grados, which have the extra top end, but also they don't have quite as much bass because they're open backs. But if you're wanting to close back headphones, but you don't want to pay the price of like high end, like audiophile headphones, but you still want that good sound, these are great. They're definitely more in audiophile land than other headphones. And I'll leave an Amazon link in the description below if you guys want to buy a pair of these. I'm sorry I cannot explain quite as good, but are these worth it? Yes. If I had to give a rating of like 1 out of 10, I would definitely give these a 9 out of 10. These are really good for what they are. The plastic build means it's not going to be as like high, like not as high-end premiums feeling, or they're going to be a little bit more creaky. But if you don't mind that, you want the sound, but you want a really nice pair of headphones for cheap, these are a good option. So Sony MDR-7506s, I definitely recommend. So I hope you guys found this video interesting. I'm sorry that I was stuttering along with trying my best to explain it. I'm not great at explaining sound. I hope you guys enjoy. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Back that ass up. Yep.